Assalamu alaikum, ahlan, welcome. Thank you all so much for joining. Come on in, come in, come on in. Let me see if I can figure out. Yeah, we don't have those features on here yet. Um, yeah. Let's see. Okay. Okay, let's see. Inshallah, others will join us. I know I came on here early. So it was like if I don't come on now, I won't be able to do 9 as I had intended. Jamila, assalamu alaikum, ahlan, welcome. Thank you so much for joining. Um, I'm going to go ahead and get started. Okay. Let's see. Assalamu alaikum. Alhamdulillah. Thank you so much for joining. How have you been? Alhamdulillah. Good. Yeah. So I don't know if you have any information that you want to share on the topic. Mm. 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 Mhm. 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 Mm. 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 Mhm. Uh, yeah. Mhm. Mhm. Subhanallah. Mm. It, if you don't mind, if I can pause you just for a minute, because I want this information, but I was just starting, so I didn't get to open up with dua. So let me do that. Bismillah, alhamdulillah, asatma rasulullah. For those of you who don't know, I am Radia, and this is the podcast, Radia's Real Talk. And we're also here in Clubhouse in the house taking care of 5 before 5. For those of you that don't know, the different ways in which we're connected are on YouTube and Instagram, and the new home on Fanbase. We're no longer using TikTok until further notice. It might be indefinite, Allahu Alam. And then we're also on Facebook on my business page as well, alhamdulillah. And so I wanted to talk about this topic. It is near and dear to my heart because I shared with you all some time ago that my friend's um, granddaughter, we believe, is being trafficked. And we've been trying to get her home. all this time. Qadar Allah Mashafa'al, and I pray Allah that Allah brings justice to her and her family sooner rather than later, and that Allah continues to uh, keep this family firmly upon steadfastness as well. I mean, so when I was looking for a topic that I wanted to discuss for Muslim Women Wednesday, something flashed across social media letting me know that this was Human Trafficking Awareness Month. And I said, oh, okay. So that's what we're going to talk about. But there wasn't enough time for me to prepare myself to do it on, for specifically for Muslim Women Wednesday. So that's why we're doing it today, even though this marks the end of the month. Um, this is a very big topic and this is very important. There's things that we're as everyday people, lay people, we're taking we're not taking it serious enough. And so not only was I hoping that there would be some that could share stories of what may have either happened to them personally or someone close to them, or just bring awareness to this ever growing problem. And truth be told, Allahu Alam, this exists in every country. And for those who believe it's not in their country, I I I don't know what to tell you other than wake up. But this is this, and I would say, quote unquote, slavery has been going on since. Well, let me just say, these are the oldest professions. And so, we would be in denial, if we said anything other than that, unfortunately. So, I would like you to, if you don't mind, to, yes, go ahead and continue with whatever information you have. And anyone is welcome, that's here in Clubhouse, to come to the stage and share um, any stories or information, to again, bring awareness, inshallah, to this growing problem, and what we could possibly do to protect ourselves, uh, in this height of missing women, especially missing women and girls, especially those of us that are of color, of the African diaspora. So, Jamila, you had other things that you wanted to share. You were like, you could just go on and on. Mhm. Mhm. Mm. 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 Mhm. Mm. Mm. Ya Allah. Mm. Allah. Mm. Woo. Mm-hmm.
who's going to take me through the Sahara Desert to Libya. Then from Libya, we cross the Mediterranean Sea. We get to Spain. Then from Spain, we could get to Italy. Just like that. So a lot of
Mm.
them have very difficult stories to listen to. I'm
Mm.
glad that foundations and resources and organizations are reaching out to them because it's young girls now have a platform, which is the social media, to vent their frustrations about what they went through because a lot of them have their mental health have been compromised.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really a thing now because some parents will go as far as loaning money or they ask this, they cut to them to take their child away, on, take her away with you on the pretense that you're getting out a job in Europe, then she would work and pay you. So the child gets to Europe, she's just 11, she's just 12, but because she's got a good, she's got a physique of a 19-year-old girl, or she's got a physique of an 18-year-old girl, it would be really difficult to say this is her age sometimes.
Mm.
And they leave on the guise of they're working in the store or they're cleaning. They just do things that you may not really raise eyebrows.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I think to stem the issue, a lot of airlines have trained the air hostess and air host to know if a child has been trafficked. Now,
Mm-hmm.
they're trying to clamp down on this thing. So a lot of organizations are coming up to really, it's difficult, I really have to say, because it's embedded in community. And as long as
Mm.
there's poverty somewhere, you find that parents want a way out.
Yeah.
So say for example, I'm the eldest girl in my family. My dad, I can tell we don't have money. We can't do a lot of things. So I'm the only way out for my parents, or
Hmm.
I'm the only way out. So my mom gets to know somebody in the community who would come and promise my mom, okay, I'll get her ready, get her passport, falsify her age, get her a passport, then take me to Europe. Is that some people go through land, some people get to Libya or Morocco and they cross the Mediterranean Sea, or they falsify my age, get me a passport, then travel with this lady that I've never met. And
Mm.
then I get to the airport, somebody picks me up, takes me to a house. From then my passport's taken away. So I don't have control of anything, on
Mm.
anything. Sometimes their names are changed. Your
Mm-hmm.
age, so sometimes you don't even know the location you are. You don't know where you are.
Mm-hmm.
So you find yourself, at the mercy of these people. So once you're thrown into that den of lions that you don't know, then you just do what you're told. So it's quite a
Mm-hmm.
difficult one. I'm glad that the government is trying to clamp down on the people because it's quite easy ring and people are profiting from it.
Yes.
So in a way, they're trying to see who are the gang leaders, because they do have their connect.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody knows somebody in Spain, somebody knows somebody in Paris, somebody
Mm-hmm.
knows somebody you know in some countries,
Mm-hmm.
and then before you know it, there's a ring of girls, and then so it went to the point of you being taken to an occult place to swear an oath that if you run away, you know, something bad is going to happen to you if you dare run away when you get to Europe. So you
Hmm.
would promise the madame that you would not run then in front of your parents. They make you do all sorts of things. So this is even the caveat that is making the girls calling out their parents now. This
Hmm.
is the caveat that's making them angry. Like, what manner of parent would stand in a place where you watch your child swear an oath to somebody who is not related to her or to you as a person, as a family, and then you make your child swear an oath on the premise that the child gets to Europe and the child will earn money and pay back the loan that has been used to transport you to Europe, if that
Hmm.
makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I would love that Facebook group information.
It's not a group.
Oh.
It's not a group. It's a different girls. Different girls with lots of followings. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Different girls with lots of following. They come out. They talk about. They talk about different things. But there'll be days where they talk about. Say trauma.
Mm-hmm.
There'll be days. Like there's a particular girl who came out and we were all aghast. Like she would openly say, yes, she's a call girl. She did it for a long time. She probably, she would do porn videos. She would come online and give the codes to people, tell them to pay, watch her, do all sorts of things to men.
Hmm.
Men do all sorts of things to her.
Mm.
Tell that she's damaged.
Mm-hmm.
You could tell that she's damaged until the day she came out to, she started crying, saying, like her mother ripped her apart because she made her she's her mother had unfortunately the mother had passed away, so she's saying like the mother, where is she now to look at the mess she's done.
Mm.
She's just messed her up. And like the money is here. She ended up having the money. She's made so much money. She's had children for different men. She sought asylum. She's got the asylum. She's a United Kingdom citizen today, but she feels she's messed up somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
There are a couple of them. They talk about it as well, but when they talk, you can tell that they're talking from a deep place of hurt.
Yes.
And they don't know any better as well. They
Yes.
don't know.
Yes.
Like the time they could have been molded was taken away by their parents telling somebody to take them away. So they probably they grew up in the streets of Europe, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Like they don't know what it means to conform. They don't know what it means to conform. They don't know what it means to be courteous, to be polite sometimes, because they grew up in the streets and you should be ready to fight, to save yourself, you're looking at where is the exit. If anything happens, this man is taking me away. So, they're always combat ready. So these are it's a big one, I must say. It's a big one.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know there was a time, even in England, in the United Kingdom, a lot of church organizations were looking for people who were trafficked.
Mm-hmm.
There were lots of researchers wanting to know how to stem this because it seems like a big problem. You go to places like Thailand, for example, or you go to the Philippines. It's a similar problem as well. You go to Morocco. Morocco is a big issue there as well because a lot of the girls get taken to the UAE, to Dubai and Abu Dhabi and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Then you come to sub-Saharan Africa, a lot of them get taken to Europe. I don't know about America. I've never been to America, but a lot of them get taken to Europe, to Denmark, to Belgium, to France, Germany, the Netherlands, Italy, France, Spain, like that.
Mm-hmm.
You do find pockets of them. You crave at some point. But the government there's an organization called WOTCLEF, WOTCLEF. It was an organization set up by one of the wives of the one-time vice president of Nigeria. She set it up because she wanted to clamp this, because it was getting too much. And we were hearing nasty cases of girls being killed, girls being groomed. Young girls that just go to school, young girls that still have a good life ahead of them. But parents want money, parents want to build a house. Parents believe that's the only way out. The girl child is the only way out for them.
Wow.
So yeah, it's a big one, Sister Radia. It's a big one.
Subhanallah. Subhanallah. Thank you so much for sharing that. So I wanted to share a couple of clips about this topic. And, anyone who's here that has anything that you want to share about it, you're more than welcome. So let me play the first clip. It's been there.
Guys, I'm gonna make this quick, short, sweet, and to the point. Y'all know me; I don't really do this, but this is important. This is necessary. Um, this whole human trafficking, sex trafficking thing is not a game. It's not a joke. It's real. All right, so I need you guys to take it seriously. Just sent out a bunch of videos and emails to the females in my life, my aunts, my sisters, my daughters, my nieces. Take this stuff seriously, guys. Don't go anywhere, especially this holiday season. Don't go anywhere by yourself. Whatever shopping you got to do, let's try to get it done during the day because a lot of what these people are doing, they're doing at night, and they're doing. Once they get you, they got you. You might as well be on the moon. There ain't nothing that law enforcement can do when we don't know where you're at. Don't have a clue as to where you're at or how to find you. So you've got to take this seriously. I know a lot of us, especially Christians right now, we get hemmed up in a lot of these situations because all we do is pray. And don't misunderstand me. I don't have a problem with prayer. I believe in prayer. The Bible says watch and pray. A lot of times we get caught because you're on your knees with your head down and your eyes closed. You can't see nothing that way. There's nothing wrong with praying, but I mean, you can pray with your eyes open and you can pray standing up. You can pray in a posture ready to defend yourself. And in this scenario, with what's going on with this whole human trafficking and sex trafficking stuff, you got to be prepared to defend yourself. Those of you that don't want to carry a firearm, go and get yourself a can of mace. Go and get yourself a flashlight taser. Go get something that you can use to defend yourself. This is serious, guys. It's not a game. This is a different Jay talking to you right now. All right. So do what you got to do to protect yourself, please. Because most of the men I know, please help keep us out of jail. Because God forbid if something happens to the females in our lives and we ever find out who did it, we're going to jail. All right. Help us stay out of jail.
Okay.
All right, good.
There's that one. And now this one. This one there.
Hey guys, I just had to stop down in the middle of my day because there's something so important that I want to draw attention to. We're not hearing enough about how we, women, Black women, are under attack. 75,000 women and young girls have just disappeared. And if you ask me, not enough people are talking about it. It should be all over the news, all over the radio. These are sisters, mothers, wives. Our babies are just disappearing. Sex trafficking and human trafficking, human organ trafficking is at an extreme high. This is not random. This is big business that we're talking about. It's intentional, and people in high places know about it. We have got to be alert. We got to be cautious, and we got to be diligent because our lives depend on it. So I want you to do what I do. I mean, I'm literally, call me crazy when I'm out with my children, but I'm always watching. You have to be. When you leave Walmart or you leave Target or you leave the supermarket, where did you park? Okay, what cars were next to you? What cars are next to you now? Are there vans next to you? Because you know what they're doing? When you go to get in your car, they're opening the side doors, jumping out, injecting these women, and they're paralyzed, and that's how they're snatching them. We've heard it from sex trafficking victims that that's exactly what happened. Out of the blue, someone grabbed them, injected them, and that's all they remember. Also, they're putting things on your front window. So now you get in, you get out your car, you go around to grab it off your front window, and that's how they're getting you, or your back window. They have these little black snip ties. They put them on your car and you're saying, what is that? Let me get out and take it off. Forget about it. Leave it. Who cares? It's material stuff. If there's something on your window, you drive home, you drive to a safe area, you go to a well-lit area where there's a lot of people, then you take it off. But do not fall for the okie doke. Your life depends on it. And I want you to make sure you send this video, send this message to every woman that you know. We've got to take care of ourselves. We got to look out for us because the media doesn't seem to care as much as they should. We're not the leading story of the day. And I think that's what these sex traffickers are counting on, that people are not valuing the lives of Black women. Please send this to your child, send this to your mother, send this to your sister. We have got to be diligent and we've got to be cognizant. Pay attention, be alert. I love you.
All right. So there's the second one, Lady Storm. Let me see if I can get you up here. Um, what I wanted to also share as far as tips. So I was watching one video where a guy, I'm not exactly sure what line of work he is, but he does offer some tips, especially to women. One thing that we are good for, we could be in the middle of a text, a conversation on our phones, and we're not paying attention to, our surroundings. We need to stop that. Once you get out of the car, you should be off your phone. It should be in your pocket, in your purse, or somewhere else, not you looking down at it. Um, Other things that we need to do is if we should only go out during the day. That's kind of already been said. But if for whatever reason we need to go out at night, especially in getting gas, you park near the entrance of the gas station. Make sure it's well lit. Um, and what they were saying about, what she was saying about when you go shopping. One thing I wanted to add, and I tend to do this, and the reason I was doing it is because, like, if I'm at um, a large parking garage in particular, I don't always remember where I parked my car, and I don't have one of those, anything on my car to mark it so that when I see something, say, on the antenna or on some part of the car, that if I'm a ways away from it, that I could identify my car. So I don't have that kind of situation. I have one of those newer cars, so there's no like antenna like there used to be. um but what I would do when I was at these parking garages is I would take a picture of where I was, where the car is located, um where I've parked exactly, and then any markers, like wherever the exit is, or entrance, or the exit, what floor, any kind of, if there's lettering and numbering, as to what level I'm on. Some are identified markers as to the color. Each floor is a different color. These kinds of things. These are things that I do personally. And I need to be a little bit even more vigilant than that. But that I was doing it for that reason. But it's good regardless. Especially in with everything that's going on. So those are the things that I wanted to offer. But Lady Storm, you are on our stage. Thank you so much for joining, and welcome. You wanted to share something?
Due to being a survivor here.
Really? Wow. It is. Yeah. Mm. Mm. Hmm. Mm-hmm. 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 Mm. 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 Oh.
And
Mm.
that's called surviving. So when you mentioned, I believe you said your cousin or your niece, my heart leaned in. You know, one thing I want to say right away is this: most people who are being trafficked don't think of themselves that way.
Mm-hmm.
They think they're surviving something. They
Mm-hmm.
think they owe someone. They think they're being loyal. They think that it will end. They think they don't have other options.
Mm-hmm.
That's what sometimes people miss are, sudden isolation. They don't have the same friends all of a sudden. Someone else controlling their phone or their money, voices. You never meet boyfriend. Big personality shifts, maybe. Fear mixed with loyalty, and defending someone who keeps hurting them.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the part I really want to slow down on. What helps most isn't confrontation. It's not expose anything at once. Like, this is what he's doing to you, and I'm no forcing labels. That can push them deeper into control. Because, like I said, they're dealing with master manipulated flow. You said what you're going to. So what we have to do is love on these people. Be consistent. Be a safe place with no pressure. Just say things like, you don't deserve to be treated like that. I'm here no matter what. If you ever need help, you don't have to explain. What that does is it shows them a difference in the other person who loves them. Eventually, hopefully, that's what we hope for, right? For an open to click. And sometimes just showing someone a different way of being treated, with respect and patience and choice, it cracks the door. And so, yeah, if you're ever worried about someone's immediate safety, there's lots of trafficking hotlines out there these days. There's so much help I wish I knew about. I had no idea because I was isolated for so long that I just thought I belonged there after a while. So, yeah, I said it's not to take over the room, but to say I've been on the inside of this and I got out, and people, loving me when I couldn't love myself yet mattered more than anything. So thank you for holding space for a hard conversation. It matters more than you know.
Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing. If you don't mind my asking, how is it that you were finally able to, I don't know, be captured or walk away or? Mm. Hmm.
Baby, I know because something told me in the depth of my heart to look to the left, and I saw this person at me. And I was able to jump back in the car and shut the door. And he threw a beer bottle, and it broke the shoe. I never looked back, and that was sound crazy to most, but that was the seventh time I left him. The female will. This is in domestic violence also. The besties, domestic violence, trafficking comes from the same root. And they say that
Wow. And what happened with the with the pimp? Was he finally charged?
No, and a lot of people, and I was there for a very long time, so they knew me.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't go that route. What I did instead is I went to my other rep, who I hadn't spoken to in many years,
Hmm.
and I asked him to help me. And he did not. I was shocked. He said nothing but, let's make a plan. No more rubber nickels, right? And I said, what? And he was just for being fooled, basically. And he helped me start again. I ended up in a studio and 2 3 weeks go by, and I get a call from a girlfriend who's relaying the message that he was killed in the street. And I mean, first was I cried.
Hmm.
He had some talent. Like, he did not have to be that way. I just wanted to save his soul so bad. I forgot it on my own.
Mm-hmm.
And then I woke up and said, I don't have to be scared anymore. I don't have to be fearful anymore. And I realized that I needed to have a relationship with God. And I tried to figure out why this happened to me. And as I was in this studio apartment, I didn't even have a TV. I had a radio, and I had myself. I was looking through quotes, and it said, a quote popped up and said, "Not all storms come to disrupt your life. Some come to clear your path." And it went ding, and I said, "Oh, this has been a message all along. God has been tapping me on the shoulder, like, Larry, you've learned enough." And it has become my purpose. So I am leaving farm, and I am figuring out again what it really is all about, and how you can get out and be okay. And you don't have to have money to be somebody. So that's the story.
Thank you so much for sharing that. I don't know if anybody else that's here had any questions. You're more than welcome to join us on stage. Just raise your hand. Otherwise, you are more than welcome to, of course, use the group chat. Is there anybody else that's here that has anything that they would like to share on the topic? No. um, by chance, Lady Storm, do you um, go to like schools? Do you speak at schools and things of that nature?
I am in the work
Okay.
any great authors yet. I think just finished a book. It's actually a workbook
Mm-hmm.
for people that want to heal after toxic relationships.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a website, stateandabuse.com.
Mm.
So now that I'm finished that, I have
I'm sorry, you said you're what? It kind of cut out.
a house here called the Storm Transformers.
Mm.
And we meet every other Thursday, and we talk about all kinds of stuff about healing and what we've learned. I have a co-host, and is Janae, and she knows all about the science of what happens to our brains when we are abused. It's pretty amazing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I see Lena down there.
Mm-hmm.
I was sharing for people to come in. Hopefully, some people will come in here. This conversation is hard for
Mm-hmm.
most. I've only met a handful of ladies that are speaking about it, but I'll never look back.
Good.
So thank you.
Thank you so much. Lena, did you have anything that you wanted to share? You're more than welcome to join us on stage. Okay. No. Okay. Um, yeah, I didn't have a lot of time. I thought I did. But with where I'm located, uh, it still cracks me up to this day, uh, how people from Georgia react to, um, you know, anticipated ice or snow. I mean, it's they could very well just shut the whole city down because, and I guess they really learned their lesson from, I think that was back in 2016. It was a really bad storm and it shut down Atlanta. And so they just, anything remotely close, they'll just shut it down, unfortunately. And so I'm saying all that to say, I I came on here earlier rather than on time. What I originally had scheduled the time of the room for, because I knew I wasn't going I wasn't going to be able to be on as long. And of course I didn't foresee that. I have to pick up my son from work, unfortunately. um, you're very welcome. Thank you so much, Lady Storm, for everything that you shared, and I wish you much success in sharing your book and your journey, and I hope whatever you share will save you know many lives. One other thing I did want to say, and then like I said, I'll need to go, but for whatever reason, and I have to raise my hand. And of course, we live in a different time from when I was a teenager to this generation of teenagers. But it's more our girls that feel the urge for whatever reason to leave the home. That they just need their own space, or whatever. Now I left. The only reason I left is, well, the first time I left was to go to college. The second time that I left was because by that time I had become Muslim. And, um, you know, at first, I thought when I finally did, I didn't tell my family right away that I had become Muslim. But when I did, um, it seemed like it was going to go in a direction of positivity. And I guess the more they sat with it, um, it became something totally opposite of that. And I began to be made fun of, and um, the way in which my mother in particular had dealt with me changed most dramatically, and I couldn't take it. I would have gladly stayed if it weren't for that. It was like my mother and my sister were ganging up on me, and so that was the only reason I myself opted to leave. But yeah, unfortunately, for whatever reason, our girls feel, they need to be independent, they need to live on their own. And, for anybody that's listening or that will listen later, in Islam, when you're born and raised in Islam in particular, or, there's no compulsion, but, in adopting as much of the ways of Prophet Muhammad as possible, we do as much as we can, and hopefully we're doing it willingly as opposed to unwillingly. And with that, the way it's supposed to go is our young girls, our young ladies, our young women are supposed to go from their parents' home to their husband's home, not the parents' home to off to college, and then getting married, and like this, just being this independent woman, and things of this nature. um so I just wanted to share that seems to be a growing theme, unfortunately, among some Muslim families, as well as in particular non-Muslim families. Huh. mm, mm, sorry. Mm.
He was very narcissistic. So I ran out to find true love.
Mm.
Unfortunately, there's monsters all over the place.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering, since that's, initially why you left, and knowing what you went through, and having, overcome that, what is your relationship like now with your mother?
During the year, working as a counselor,
Mm. Mm.
when you're working nice and mean and nice and mean, I'm a kid. So once I got out, see her more clearly. I
Mm.
realized that she was just another bad relationship, and I picked her over my father when we got a divorce, and that was a big mistake.
Mm-hmm.
When I reached out to my father, he really loved on me and helped me get out.
Mm.
And I also had to grow on. I'm in a happy relationship now. It's been 10 years. I'm married to a man, and I'm a rebirth. So that's another thing that has helped me so much. But, I haven't
Alhamdulillah.
spoken to my mother. I haven't spoken to her in probably 6 years.
Mm. Mm. Subhanallah. Wow.
Called the last time, and he said, "Will you go help her? Because she is elderly."
Mm-hmm.
And I said, brother, if I go give her this ride, I'm saying yes to her, no, my mental health, I can't do it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And they haven't bothered me about it anymore since.
Mm.
There's a few of my sisters and brothers that don't speak to her, and there are a few that still do.
Mm-hmm. Do you know if at all she feels remorse for the treatment?
You know, because she was a very strong woman.
Mm.
And today, I hear that she is dealing with dementia.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And my little sister was with her, and my little sister called me and said, she was so nice to me. She even said that she liked my outfit. And I'm like, what? Really? Like, that's not
Mm-hmm.
so maybe. So,
No.
yeah, she might have dementia. And so she's, my sister said she doesn't know anyone anymore, so there's no apology. And that's why I told my sister, I'm not going. I'm not going to do that to myself. So I really won't get an apology. She
Mm.
pushed me right into the hand. She groomed me right into the hand.
Mm.
I'm telling you, it was the same type of relationship that I had. No, I can prove that I'm good. I can prove that I'm loyal. I can prove that love. My mother's love was conditional. She wanted me to be just like her, and if she didn't want me, no. And it was difficult for me. I'm an empath, and I
Mm.
was pointed out, so she put me out the door because I
Mm-hmm.
was ruining her game.
Mm.
Yeah,
Subhanallah.
it's big, but yeah, everything's gonna be all right.
Inshallah. No.
Everything's gonna be all right.
No. Mm. Subhanallah. Okay. I know many of you all just go ahead. Uh-oh. It kind of cut out. Say it again.
I was adopted,
Mm-hmm.
so she's not my biological mother. Because
Mm.
my husband and I were studying about, I need to be with your parents,
Yes.
but I think there's a difference there
Yeah.
of the abuse, and she was not my biological mother. I don't need to speak to her.
So Abdul Malik was asking, can you forgive her?
Yes, and I'll tell you what, I don't tell people that they need to forgive anybody because we're all on different levels. Healing is so different. Everybody has a personal relationship with their own healing, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And for me, it took a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I realized, oh my God, I was growing up with this stuff that I'm doing as a young adult. And so, how I forgive her is not
Mm-hmm.
too much. I know the truth now, for real. But I look at her as somebody that has a disease. I don't want to be near it.
Mm-hmm.
It's too much. You should hear how she speaks to my sisters. It's so bad.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody has some kind of issue because of it. So do I forgive her? Yes. And what does that mean? It means that I'm not angry at her every day. I'm not blaming her for all of my choices. But I do know that she was the beginning of it for me because she trained me about what love was, and she was wrong. But that's okay because I have a relationship with my God, and He.
No, alhamdulillah. Okay. Well, like I said, I have to cut it short, unfortunately. But let me say this, for any future topics that you all feel we need to have, please let me know. Any future guests I should have, let me know that as well. And if any of you all have a um, business, and you would like to donate towards our cause so that we can have other guests that request a honorarium or have an honorarium, just DM me the word donate. And for those, or sponsor, and for those who want to make a donation, you're more than welcome to do that as well. Um, right now, and for more than 5 years now, this has been a one woman show, and I need a team, inshallah, and I'm trying to get that much closer to that, inshallah. So um, they could do all of the heavy lifting for me, inshallah. So make dua for me in that, that Allah gives that to me so that the work can be that much better and have better guests and things of that nature, inshallah. But I want to thank every one of you all so much for joining us tonight, and for your contributions. And if you are not following us, please do that. And inshallah, I know Ramadan is coming. We're all looking forward to that. It's I think it's about 19 days away, inshallah. So I will go ahead and close the dua as I began. سبحانك اللهم بحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك إني كنت من الظالمين اللهم بلغنا Ramadan Ameen. And as I always say, be resilient, inshallah. You all have a good rest of your evening or morning or afternoon, wherever you are in the world. And inshallah, I pray to have a topic for us for Muslim Women Wednesday, inshallah. And quite possibly I may even have pop up and have something for tomorrow for a community or another community conversation, inshallah. Okay. Assalamu alaikum.